As we get into geometrical optics, we're going to change the way that we describe waves. So historically, we've been talking about wavefronts. So here's my little source, and now it's emitting waves in a circularly. They're coming out. This is nice and easy. You can see the crests and the troughs, or the compressions and rarefactions. And technically, these are called wavefronts. These are surfaces that are in constant phase. Anywhere along that surface, that line, or in between the line, you'll be at the same point in the wave. Another way to describe these waves is by using rays. So I'm going to draw perpendiculars from the source to the wavefront. That perpendicular to the wavefront, and it's going to point in the direction of the velocity. So it's kind of like a vector because it has direction. So it tells me that the waves are moving out away from each other. And now that I have these rays, I can get rid of my wavefronts. And now I know the waves are moving out. Oh, look, those look like radii. Oh, it must be moving circularly. If I want to redraw the wavefronts, I just need to make sure that I'm perpendicular to my rays. What does this bring us to? It brings us to a nice way to talk about some wave phenomenon. The first one is reflection. When a wave changes direction by bouncing off of another medium. So here we are in medium 1, which is air. My wave comes in, it's the incident ray. Rather than drawing the wavefronts, again, we're drawing a ray, and it's going to bounce off a piece of glass. This is my second medium. The important part is that we're talking about, it's coming in at some angle, but what angle do I measure it at? I have two angles here. I can measure it to here, or I can measure it to the normal. We measure it to the normal. This is called theta incident. So this is the angle, this is the incident angle. And now that ray is going to reflect. That's called a reflected ray. And it's also going to come off at some angle. And again, we measure it to the normal. When I have a flat piece of glass, measuring it to the glass is not that big a deal, but we're not going to measure the flat pieces of glass. Here we have two angles. The law of reflection says the incident angle has to equal the reflected angle. This is going to make for some interesting drawings later.